question. Is that correct? Is that okay?
I wanted to thank you for leaving Henry Paulson was the one who threatened martial law if the bailout bill wasn't passed. I was wondering, is there any more information to that particular case?
No, you're talking about the big bailout bill, $700 billion? That I'm still mad at all the Republicans for voting for it?
Yes.
No, in fact, you're the first person in 5 years that's even mentioned that. That happened on October of '08, and I couldn't believe it. I went down to try to stop it, and the Republicans fell into that thing. Every time you see something going on in government now, normally they say, well, this thing would be $1.5 billion. That was $700 billion, and nobody cares.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a lost thing. Now, what is your question?
I actually tried to ask Henry Paulson that question, why he...
Oh, Hank Paulson? Well, he's the world's greatest salesman.
He is. He's part of Goldman Sachs and also part of the Bilderberg Group.
No, he's right down on Wall Street. Can you imagine the champagne pop that was going on that night on Wall Street down there? $700 million given to an unelected bureaucrat to do anything without any oversight.
Yep.
And Republicans would.
Just blindly giving our money to the private banks, just under duress, under threat.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, is there any update to that?
No, I had actually led the opposition to that, so that has to go down as my biggest failure.
Do things like this happen in Washington, D.C. often, and has it happened after that incident with Paulson?
No, this has never happened before. You have people coming in that are great salesmen. He had a title at that time as Secretary of the Treasury, and he had credibility, and that was during the Bush administration, so you can't blame it on Obama, you can't blame it on Clinton, that was the Bush administration. And no, that's something that has never happened before, and it was clearly a bailout. And the interesting thing is that he keeps talking about how it's been paid back and all that. It hasn't. And some have.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what do you think of the bailouts in general now, 4 years later?
Well, I think probably $250 billion. Yeah. But you start to think about how big the whole idea, even if 100% paid back today, $700 billion given to an unelected bureaucrat with no accountability to do anything he wanted with. Can this happen? It did.
It did. And one thing I was wondering, what are your thoughts about the secret Federal Reserve bailouts that reached trillions to foreign banks? A leaked memo came out that the Federal Reserve was giving out trillions of dollars in loans secretly without any...
I'm not into that, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We have access to classified military intelligence, and I'll just tell you, this administration and prior administrations are not very clear and open and transparent with the folks that actually control their budget. Every member of Congress should know the answers to those questions, whether or not they can share them.
My last question is, the Department of Homeland Security recently bought 1.6 billion bullets. As president, what would you do with the disposition matrix?
I don't know what that is.
The kill list. You don't know what that is?